it's called CPC. CPC stands for Coffee Pay Churcha. Coffee Pay Churcha. Coffee will come, we'll have a Churcha first. Now, this is an initiative which we started about a year and a half back. I think we are 1 year, 9 months to be exact. And this is to give an opportunity basically for our members and few of the invited non-members to meet and interact with senior entrepreneurs, highly successful senior, iconic entrepreneurs who are the top-notch people in their domain. And our charter members are icons in their own field, all of them. So they came forward and said they will host an evening and afternoon for the benefit of these members, young entrepreneurs, so that they can interact, they can also network with them. So this is our 16th CPC. Become a very popular program. We try and conduct at least one in a month, and we've been able to do that so far. Except for a couple of months where we had to postpone because of our flagship event, Typhoon and so on. So this is the 16th event where our host is a very distinguished charter member and architect. He'll be introduced a little later. And Mr. Gopakumar, who is the managing partner of Kumar Group, know you all very well. So he will be sharing his experience, his entrepreneurial journey, the high points, low points, and so on, and how he set up a world-class organization, an ISO certified organization from a small, the architect's office environment. You find a world of difference here in Kumar Group. So that's going to be the program. Now, before I hand over to the speakers coming here, I'll just talk about TIE. I mentioned about TIE. TIE stands for the Indus Enterprise. This is a not-for-profit organization started in late 90s, or 92, 93. It started operation in mid-90s in Silicon Valley. In Silicon Valley, you will be surprised in those days, the entrepreneurs of Indian origin in IT field were ruling the roost there. They were all highly successful. Deshpande, Kanwal Devi, and all that. So they were the richest people. And they felt that they were going to give back something to the society. And they decided to form a corpus to help young entrepreneurs, especially young entrepreneurs of Indian origin, Indo-US origin, the people who have got Indian origin, who is practicing or working in US. This is the purpose, this is the objective, but within a short period of 10 to 15 years, in the first phase itself, this organization grew up very fast. And today we are very proud that we have our presence in 62 cities in the world, and we are spread for 9 continents in 18 countries. It's become a very huge organization with almost 15 to 20,000 members. Out of it, about 2,000 members are those icons which I've been talking about in their own domains. So that is the structure of TIE. TIE today is spread, apart from IT, we are now spread over all the other domains, and especially TIE Kerala, which is a chapter. A standalone chapter, part of these 62 chapters, what I said. We, from the very beginning itself, we said, we are not going to stick to IT only, we are going to go into other sectors which are beneficial for our state, So, we have, in almost all the domains, we have charter members and members, and we also conduct programs on that. And architecture, building is another very few chapters have got this, and we are very happy that we have a very large presence in it. And we have a lot of members who are from this domain. Senior member Gopakumar himself is driving this particular segment. So that is the background. That's why we are here. And in your case, of course, I'm happy, as we were just discussing, that many of you start your own organizations after you pass out. But it may not be the same case with other domains. So this is to encourage you to become employees rather than employees. Self-employment, that's our objective, to spread this particular very valuable advice which we didn't get when we were young like you. Right. So I only wanted to mention one more thing. Gopa is known to me for the last 30 years, not only in fact, I have stayed in a house built by for 6 years in Cochin, 7 years in Cochin actually. Because I was in the Godrej and I was heading Godrej here, and he was our architect. That was the time when he had just started Kumar Group, and he had built many of our showrooms, many of our the infrastructure in Kerala and elsewhere. So our relationship started there. Now today he is charter member, senior charter member of Sky. So I'm very happy that I'm associated with him, and welcome you to this is to be his podium and to take over the.
I will just give you
Yeah. Before I hand over to Gopa, I will request our senior vice president and incoming president, MSA Kumar.
Very happy because I knew Gopakumar for the last 20 years. He did the design for my house. And also, you know, in the sense that I know how he started, so I am very keen to know his journey. Because when I constructed my house in 2000, he used to sit near that south station. We had to go there, and not a bad office. It was also a good office, but not as posh as this office.
You know that he was.
Before that, because you knew him 30 years back, so that's the difference.
10 years back.
Yeah. So it's a growth. I mean, and another thing is that architectural students. I mean, there are students here. What did you learn from yesterday's budget? Arun Jaitley presented. Nobody would have seen that. Nobody would have read the newspaper today. Did you listen to him, or did you read at least? There's a big trust for infrastructure. Yeah. Each of the IITs and NITs have been asked to start a standalone school of architecture.
And planning.
So they have been given budgets, number one. Number two, 100 smart cities with 2 lakh crores investment. So people who are looking at urban designs, it's going to be a big boost to this in our country. And that's why a lot of architectural schools are coming.
10 tourist destinations.
10 iconic tourist destinations. So the list has not come. We are expecting that Kerala will. List one. Okay.
Kerala will have at least one. That's what we expect.
That's what we are expecting. I was asking Jose Dominic, who is the father of Kerala tourism.
He expects
at least one. But the rumor is it will not be Kumararam. It will be Munnar, most probably. I mean, that's a rumor. We don't know. Anyway, so to cut the story short, I think there's a big opportunity for you guys. And incidentally, my daughter also is an architect. Okay, and she started off her own 4 years back. She specialized in conservation of historical buildings, and then we did masters in University of in UK. So basically, I was asking Roban whether the Indian Institute of Architects have a figure. If you look at the engineering stream and you look at the architectural stream, the number of students who start their own business or their own design work in architecture is much more than engineering. Roshan, our charter member, his daughter is an architect. Okay, so it's a good profession to be in, and finally what you create a nice structure, and then you look at it and you feel very proud about it. Few words about Gopakumar. I was asking what was his father, not without any other industries, but his father is a police officer. But all his, including him, all the 5 sons are all designers. So I thought his father also will be a designer, but his father is a policeman. Okay, designer. Correct. Policeman also can be designer. He is also from that. Anyway, jokes apart, I think his elder brother was a town planner and he was in Oman. One of his younger brother is a chief design officer in Whirlpool, and one brother is from the University of Illinois. Yeah. So it's all his family itself is design family, creative people. So I would leave it at this, and he is also the president of Vector Response Group, which is sort of spearheading the Cochin city development and all that. And he also has been responsible for the, not responsible, he also has spearheaded what you see on the way. You would have seen that mobility hub. Have you seen the mobility hub on the way here? That also has been spearheaded by PKRG and at that time CII. So basically there are a lot of activities that are going on. I won't take the pressure away from Gopan and would like to listen to your story, Gopan.
Yeah.
And as KC mentioned, this is Churcha. So I think, please students, please ask questions. Learn from this. Okay. Learn from Gopan and what he has gone through. Life has not been easy. Life will not be easy. Okay, over to Gopan.
One more thing which I had, I'm from Trivandrum, from his hometown.
Okay, okay.
And I think a few years ago, the entire family, which means this generation and the next generation, they conducted an exhibition at the Jawahar
I heard that.
where they brought out all their creativity, and I must say that the next generation is also very talented. I am proud to have his niece's painting and his sister's painting at my house. They are all, they create excellent pieces of art.
Yeah, that's interesting. I also heard about that. Yes, over to you, Gopan. So thanks for sharing that. That's good.
Because I was interested in taking up a profession which combines art and science, and this is the best combination. Art and science together, this is the best combination. So I thought I would choose this. So third year I had to shift to. Third year when I was doing BSc, I shifted engineering. You can imagine the situation. I was in Trivandrum, if you understand. Everybody wants to get a degree and things like that. And quitting was not easy. It's a tough job. Personally, my father is a tough police officer. Telling that I don't want this. And they were going to say, including my process, another 6 months you will get a degree. So I had to decide what is in a degree. So I had to decide at that point. I said, now or never. So I left. I took the TC from University College and joined engineering. That's a tough decision I took at that time, which I feel I'm very happy about. Then during the when I was studying also, I'm not going to the details of the course. During the studying also, I had correspondence to South Korea. I used to write it because I had seen some works of his in Ahmedabad and Gandhi Ashram and all. I had seen some works and I used to write it. And very surprisingly, he used to reply back. This is a quality, when a student writes to an architect, a senior architect, he replies. When I learned about that, I even now do it. Top priority in my professional students. Nobody can see me with an appointment generally in my office, but students can walk in any time of the day. They can call me midnight in telephone, issues. They do it also. Sometimes they want some training program or something they call. So I have learned from him to look after the student, because we had difficulty as a student, so we should make their life easier. That is something I learned working with South Korea. Of course, there are a lot of other things. Just talking to him itself is, not working, just talking to him. His mind goes from here, there, and all that. We call it volatile mind. He doesn't fix one. So he designs things and goes on changing. For example, one day he finished a design. Next day he'll bring on a cigarette cover here some skull sketch. Scrap it, go you do that. Change all this. Maybe he had thought in the car or maybe the breakfast table, he will change that. So change was going on and on. So that is the problem, that you have to keep up with it. So what is the final, we don't know. So he changes so many times, you know what is the final decision. He himself will forget what is the final decision. So, his mind is some mind-boggling mind, that's what I'm saying. So advantages after working with him, I could work with Charles Korea for the Column project, which he called me. He called me, but I didn't apply. he called me, where don't you join? You're part of our pastor, where don't you join? So come to Kolam. On this, I just took, when that Kolam, he didn't say that he's giving me a job. So he asked me, how's the sickness, have you got any other job or anything else? Join me. Now, that, he's a very informal, over a cup of beer, I was appointed in Kolam. So next year I started going there. I didn't ask what is my salary and my conditions and all that, just joined. So he's so informal in that case. So Kolam was a great experience for me because the way he worked on that project is unbelievably fantastic. Like in the sense, he is even quarter with clients. You sometimes say it's a very bad thing, but he'll quarter with the clients. He said, I'm designing for the government, the people of India, not for the stupid chief engineer or whoever is in charge, GM. So something he doesn't, he said, no, it's not a way to do that. He asked the chief engineer, you want to see changes? Now, not only in the paper, on the site he changes. That means whatever built has to be dismantled. So he used to tell the chief engineer, do you want to leave this mistake the rest of life or want to dismantle it tomorrow? So that issues, we are really showing the way things were done with the India government. Then he, once there's a big fight, something like that, some subject which has to be done. So they were let him do that. He said, no problem, I'll tell Indira Gandhi. This is a kind of language I'll tell Indira Gandhi tomorrow. She will call it. That kind of thing. So his power was great, and he got the Padma Shri award when he was working for. Now he's Padma Bhushan. He was Padma Bhushan the whole night. So that was a mind-boggling experience working with a person whose mind is volatile and changing and changing and changing. But we can't do it in real life. Charles Ray can ask to dismantle whatever is comes, and I cannot do that. So once in a while I also do a little bit of dismantling at the site. But basically we'll try to perfect. Yeah, 2 room office. Now I have 75 people working with me. So when I started 2 people, I was worried whether I wanted to give salaries to these people. Giving salaries one that was a difficult thing. How do I manage? That kind of situation was there. But slowly I don't know, people by God's grace improved. I went through a lot of struggles too, about which I'll talk later. My son joined in 2000 after passing from TK College of Architecture. He's now not today, he's going to Goa, so let's present here. Finance for education, I'll go back again. See, father, as you said, no, father was a police officer. You know how much salary those days were. And being an honest person, there's only money he has. So educating 5 people at this top level, all US and Delhi and Ahmedabad, NID and all that cost money. So this was a tough job. So we are our own method of making money also. Like I was basically on my own. For the fees, I used to make greeting cards. So throughout night I sit down and make greeting cards. Especially New Year time and all that, I make the college picture and all that. I use a spray gun or I use photograph. I convert my bedroom to a photo studio and make night I make about 200 greeting cards. Next day come and sell like hot cake. So we used to make money at that point. The other thing which happened is when you have a large family, I think it's not recommended by India government. Large family advantage, as you grow, one brother supports the other. Not like it's a circle on which each of us supported each person. It really worked like that. No? So that is one advantage financially. Though people say a small family is good. The rejecting government job I was talking about, rejecting government and starting private practice, I already talked about. The other problem is nobody knew what is architecture first of all when I started. They thought everybody calls me engineer. Whatever I said, they call me engineer. Against this distance, I think they call me engineer. Nobody called me architect. Said, architect, call me architect. This is a big problem. Big problem. So first of all, and they don't know how to pay you. This person, they are just quoting the times when I did some work for some relative, he gave me a transistor radio. Or maybe a fan. To make him understand there's a fees, there's a time spent on this, very, very tough. And so pioneering architecture as a practicing architect, as the first firm, understand, existing firm now, there are not two other firms that are all closed down. The longest, oldest firm in architecture is our Kumar Group. Then it's a the other firms, most of them are closed down, and we have now there are so many firms now. I don't know how many there are. So many people practicing on this. All these people thought when then they saw me succeeding, they all came. So it was a tough time we had. And fees and finance I was talking about. Then I had one big tax rate. Everybody knows, most of my friends know. I don't know, do you know? I had a huge tax rate in income tax people. This was purposely done by one person. I know the person. Yeah, one person I know who did that. And he has
publicity you got.
Yeah, they joined with the income tax this brother or something, did the rate. And it's published also in paper. Normally the rate, they don't put the name when the rate is done and joy because rate nobody knows now. So the big rate every day, newspaper, huge heading, Kumar Group raid at office in Trivandrum, my house, your office. Huh?
15 years.
15 years back. So big, huge raid. They don't know I was perfect. They didn't know. The fellow who raided did not know that it was perfect in my account. Which served me. So at that time, I don't know what the system now. You have to give yourself the accounts. You have to justify every payment for 8 or 10 years. Every payment this way, that way, you have to justify. So I had these passbooks everywhere. I returned what is the money gone, where the money has gone, everything 100%. They never thought I would give this thing. So the raider after 3 years, what is that? They'll shiver and stay. So what this fellow who raided came to my office. After the raid, next day I went to Kodaikanal because I had already moved to vacation in Kodaikanal. I went to Kodaikanal. So everybody wanted this raid yesterday to Kodaikanal. So they were saying that this would have gone to settle his things in Kodaikanal. Anyway. After about 4 days, the same fellow raider came to my office. Saying, I want, first he produced what you call notice to appear before the Income department on that same day at 4 o'clock. And he came at 5 o'clock and gave me this. So I got signed and underneath I wrote 5 p.m. I signed but I wrote 5 p.m. So he didn't notice, he just took it out. And he took some files from me, additional files. And you come tomorrow to office, we will talk about it. He came for money. That's otherwise he will not. There is a rule that I think everybody should know. After the raid, there is a time limit on which there is about 3-4 months or she wrote a notice to that fellow, the Income department, that all the files he came into this office, return all this. He has no business to enter. Big issue in the Income department now. I didn't go there, I just said this. Then he started harassing my wife over phone and all that. So many times we'll do that and all that. So we were out to the headquarters at this Bangalore. You have to be correct, then only can do all that. If you are wrong, then you cannot do that. So I go to Bangalore office, the headquarters right there, this fellow is harassing. So big inquiry on him. So only time I ever entered an office is to give evidence against this person. Never before or after I never entered that, raided this separate office for this. That was an eye-opener. So if I go to Income office now, everybody will stand up. They got so much I got so much of name. When I'm saying that is struggle, though it is, I am correct, I have to prove myself correct. That took a lot of my time, Probably I got my diabetics because of that. The tensions you go through, it is absolutely. But I came out, I didn't give 1 rupee to Income. So they asked, This officers are give something to so I gave 3 lakhs. I gave 3 lakhs and I got my 3 lakhs back. And the next I got the 3 lakhs back. I did not give a chai tea. I did not give 1 rupee to the Indian National Party. And the way I am telling is, you should be bold. If your stand is correct, you should be bold. You should not wear over all the officers who are harassing you. Because I have kept an honest life throughout my life, everywhere. So I thought, in my personal, this thing also keep the same standard. Why should I worry about and give him tea or give 1 lakh rupees under the table? No. So that was an eye opener. You know, that's way of saying is one of the biggest problems we had at that point. Then another thing is the economy going up and down. The economy going up and down. See, every time the business goes up, we are doing good. Like the Middle East problem is a big problem. The Middle East crashes, world economy crashes, we also crash. Because every development has a construction involved, a building involved, then there's an architect is involved. If there's no construction, we are suffering. So many of the firms close at that time, when they are crashing close. We do the opposite. You know, when the economy is bad, we do more marketing, meet more people, we become aggressive, more aggressive. And that's what is principle. When somebody is doing bad, you be more aggressive. I cannot advise, but if another commercial firm, they should advise more when they are doing bad to come out of the situation. So this is, so I went through all this. The way I am saying is, architecture doesn't mean that only designing and drawing. There are so many things will happen to you, and you have to withstand all that. So a very unassuming person, if you, not like me, very unassuming, very quiet person, very capable, very clear about what he's doing.
I can certify that you are also unassuming.
Then we have 2 brothers, Kumar and Kumar. Both are product designers. When he came to India, it was number 3. When he went back, he took it to number 1. That's a kind of business advantage in design. So design is very important. He is the one who designed converted washing machine to lassi machines. Last time Sachin Tendulkar was talking about. He's the one who did that. The old washing machines come to lassi machines. All these parvalas are selling lassi on this lassi. It's all rolling. You know, there's nothing else. So that is what he did that. Kumar is a product designer. He studied National Institute of Design, Ahmedabad, one of the best institutes in the world. So he also came out very well. Then he went to Illinois for higher studies and then later on joined the faculty and then became the HOD of Illinois Institute of Technology, the best design school in the world. But more than that, he wrote a book called 101 Design Methods. For all architects, you buy this book to Amazon, 101 Design Methods, 101 Design Methods. It is a textbook for design. It's approved as a textbook for design. It's become a textbook in many universities and highly praised all over the world. He was called by many universities across the world to talk about the book, to present the book, to release the book. He made millions on that. Now just one book which clicked, 101 Design Methods, very famous. And even in, so I said to my colleagues, architects, they're all studying this. But so there was no book on how to proceed with design. But this book clearly says how to proceed with design. So that was a... Then now he is in the committee of selecting mayors in the US. Mayors means selecting the mayor's award, mayor's award. Boomerang award or something like that. That award is that given to mayors for the projects. 1 million rupees award. So he's in the committee of about 5-6 people. He is in the committee selecting. It's a very high position, directly reported in the US government. He is also in the committee which is doing innovation committee of UAE. UAE has made an innovation committee. You know that about 600 people in UAE has innovation. He is a member of the innovation committee, reporting to Abu Dhabi King's daughter, who is chairing that thing. So last time, driverless helicopter picked him up. Kind of things which is happening in UAE. Of course, I did architecture. My son Anuj also did architecture. Girija is my sister who did home science in Men's College and became the director of IGNOU in Churcha. He recently retired, a very active person, does mural paintings and all that. The last one, Shyamala, is my wife. I said critic. Critic. She's the biggest critic. She's the biggest, you don't let me go. So, she is especially recorded that He has an uncanny ability to tell what is good or bad, even in architecture. When he authentically says it's bad, so I know it's bad. So when you say it's doubly bad. Shadow she picked up, something like that. So in our family when we meet, last year he was talking about a get together and painting exhibition with great success. When we meet, the subject is design. Subject is that. So that time the world goes recklessly around us. You know, the thinking levels are so different. It is not normal Indian thinking or US thinking, it goes beyond anything. I still remember the last discussion, what won't be there? The subject of discussion, what won't be there? Very nice subject. What won't be there? They predicted the notes and points will not be there. So what will happen? Notes, it's like that, no? Like that. What won't be there was a very powerful subject. Everyone was, discussing on this. So that was our industry. We meet every year in some part of the world, maybe US or here or Dubai or someplace. Last time we went to Switzerland. So all of them come. Because people are all over, so it's easy. Any place is equal. Any place is equal to me. So that's an interesting family. What I'm saying is family tie was helping us progress. You know, many people in Cochin also, good families, they brothers and this thing fight. You know, especially when they get married, they fight each other and spoil the old names. We have seen it. We have many big firms here, which I don't know what to next. The financial thing, this is an interesting management thing. Normally you share profit, no? That's what the normal method of sharing. So what we share is from turnover share. We have fixed a percentage. Myself and my son. Though it's my son, the finance was perfect. As soon as the money comes, the share goes to the bank. The first small percentage goes there. We have fixed. This percentage is fixed by a method by Riva. Royal Shore British Actors have specified how much money should be your salaries, office salaries, how much is the running cost, how much is your profit. They put the figures down. So the formula was taken from there, RIBA formula. So according to the RIBA formula, the profit part we cut and share the same.
What is the Royal Institute of?
British Actor, RIBA. So this, what happens is, it's not a fixed figure also. It's not a fixed figure. So by the previous accounts, every month previous account we know where we are. If the profits are going down a little bit, we bring down the share a little bit, but we don't take the whole profit. We keep something in the company for growing. Company is honest and growing. So we don't take the whole thing out. So we are always safe, and when we know that we are doing very well, so we slightly increase a percentage. So this is all fixed by our accountant and computer, so I don't have to do anything. Meaning that I don't have any fixed income exposure or fluctuating. And no arguments about it. His money, his. My money, mine. I do whatever I want with that, you do whatever. So what is profit? See, many of the families, they have share profit in a partnership. They make up, a lot of things can be made up, you know that. One partner can spend more money on travel and things like that, and another fellow will said, I have examples, I don't mention examples, that other fellow will build a huge house, that other fellow has a small house, and then all those things come. So there's absolutely no problem. So every architect firm, private partnership, joining a partnership, I think 90% of partnerships fail. I'm telling you, 90% of the partnerships fail. They start separating. Afterwards, they start separating. The reason is only finance, nothing else. So if you keep this formula of sharing from your turnover, there is no issues. No issues. Profit is something which is out there, can be defined in various ways, so there will be a problem. So this is what I'm trying to say. You take the money from your turnover. Since for the new generation architects who are coming into the field. Our staff salary is very interesting. We have staff salary is not a fixed amount too. We have basic amount we are keep, like in government category. Basic salary goes. Then turnover index. The same way I am taking from the turnover, an index of that thing, because I know the figures from RIBA thing. So part of the turnover index just goes to them as per salary, as per the basic salary goes to them. So it's calculated by the accountant, by the also there. It's calculated on the computer. Efficiency index is something we were doing it and we are discontinued and we are going to restart. This actually, this cannot be taken by computer. That's the only problem. This has to be put marks. So I can put the senior people, they can put the others marks, and then accordingly we are running it actually that we are going to restart. A small index will come on that. The salary will be multiplied by that index and they get that. Then time index. The time index has to swipe your card, your attendance is there. There is no other attendance other than swiping your card. When they go, it gets cancelled. Let's say it's fixed. So, entire time index money, if they get more, they get more. If they work less, they get less. It's simple. So, there's no issues. They can come late, then they work late, doesn't matter. Then you get that. Because we are designers, we cannot have hard and fast rules, but people there are people who work very late, midnight, next day morning, up to next day morning they work. It simply means you are paying the staff by hour. It simply means paying the staff by hour. Salaries per hour, not per month or not per days, per hour, which is worse than the, what you call molecular cooling. It works very well. They are happy. I don't have to tell a person to stay back and do. They do it themselves. They do it themselves. The work, the work is there to finish. Because we overwork sometimes overloaded suddenly. A lot of work comes. So they work late night, and there are cases where at 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock they give the drawings to my house. I don't want to tell them, because they also know the company has to do well. The company is not doing well, they are not doing well. So they know that turnover index and all, and they also know the company has to do good. So we have a lot of interaction with the staff also on this issue, that brainwashing them to work, for the company. I am not the owner. I sometimes tell, I can retire now because I don't know work. How many years I'm going to leave more? I know how many. I'm not going to go in for another 40, 30 years and all that. So I know how much money I need. I said, I have my money. That money I have. So I'm working for you now. I am coming to the office for you, to run this firm for you. I can close down, then you will lose 2 jobs. So I was worried when I originally started with I had closed down. But now my son has joined. I'm happy now. He'll continue for the next generation or 4. It will go on some more time. Because many other folks, like my office, both the children don't join architecture. It's a big problem. So that is, so they join us. So because we are very close to the staff. Almost addressing firms, Your advertisement has to come tomorrow. But the client has given you the money. Who cares? The advertisement has to come tomorrow. With the last page, it has come in last page. You cannot say that I was sleeping and all that. Nothing. Our approach is almost similar to that. Because the clients put at time and he must know that his works to finish in time is a tough job. So we have to keep the time. What is missing in India is timekeeping. Nobody is bothered about it. I think the one and the only thing probably Madhavamari should do is keep time, keep the importance of time. And making others keep time is another big problem. So I used to put appointment. I would undermine on appointment. So people, subway appointment 3:30, he'll come at 4:30. Another appointment is 4:30, that will also come at 4:30. Or maybe he'll come 5 minutes early. So this is a big problem for me. I never could manage this appointment. So what I did is, I gave time slots. I used to give 3:30 to 4:30 for time slot. Others tell 4:30 to 5:30. You know what these people do? With 3:30 to 4:30, he'll come at exactly 4:25. So time definitely overlaps. No way I could ask him to get out immediately. So it gets stuck. So it didn't work. So now what I'm doing, very successful. It's not mentioned in management school. I put times like 4:27, 3:46, 3:46. I put the time 3:46. Meet me at 3:46. They'll come on dot 3:46. Any Indian will come 3:46. You have just take it. It's a good management principle. It's not in schools. 346 foot, they'll cover 346.
Right.
And if I cover 340, I'll not meet them. They'll come wait. After 1 minute, I look at the watch and come.
Railway is
Huh?
railway traffic is that.
So if you put that, they'll come. Railways are running late, that's different thing.
What they have put on the board?
Yeah. Indian Railway, not in Switzerland or that. So this is one lesson I learned. Keep others, keep time. Because what we sell actually, we sell time and brain. Our raw material is only time, nothing else. We don't have to produce a material product, nothing. We have to spend time and use our brain. So we have one component is time, so I have to keep the time correctly. So another thing is the all staff relations. All staff equal. There's no difference between you and myself. Everybody is equal. When I say, everybody say that, but actually I'm practicing it, I tell you. He knows he's sitting there. Nobody should call me sir. Nobody should call me sir. Nobody calls, she calls. Everybody by first name. My son calls me by first name in my office. Everybody by first name. No sir, Mr. Nobody. And nobody is supposed to stand in front. They are supposed to, as soon as come to my cabin, they are supposed to sit and talk. Even the office boy, he has to sit and talk. But most of them like, I said, sit. So what does I said, sit. So this is what will boost up their relation with you. You will give the equality in this thing. So I crack joke, they also make fun of me, all those things also happen finally. But I enjoy that part. Very informal. We have meditation every day. This one is reported in TV and all that thing. Last, more than 20-25 years we have meditation. Every day we have meditation. Exactly at 9 o'clock we start. 15 minutes we have meditation. So if we close the doors and we have sound and music can come through that, some small instructions come through that, pre-recorded cassettes, we change the cassettes every day. And if I come late, I will stand outside. See, nowadays I come very late every day, but otherwise we come late, you have to stand outside. Any staff who come late, you have to stand, well, the door is locked, you cannot enter. So they lose the time also, and they mark the time on the striking part, they lose the time also. So this is what we are not this thing. It's very, because people come from different parts of the city. And they have their own family problem. We are on design job, our mind has to be clean. Our mind has to be not any trouble. So only way to give them, after the meditation they calm down a little bit, and that's a general idea of this meditation. We are following it for so many years. Continuing education. So one thing with architects is as they grow up, they are out of the field. The new generation comes. Naturally, like these people will take off sometime, So I'll keep up with you, compete with you. Don't come here, I'm here. So you have to do continuous education is a material. Continuous education is very important for us, not better than any other job. You have credible engineers, if you ask something about the latest, chief engineer, if you ask something the latest thing on engineering, he doesn't know. There's no continuous education. That has to be there. Then material study. It's like doctors. Who control doctors? The medical companies. They come with their bag. It says doctors always see the medical facility. They will never go away. The medical company will wait at the last consulting hours. He'll wait there with a big bag. So after that, he'll come and say, so this medicine is good. This can do that. See, he is learning. Doctor is learning. So next time he put this thing to you without your knowledge, they'll give this medicine. So this is happening. So we have the same problem. So many materials are in the market. Keeping up to date is very difficult. So we have a cataloging system. We have people, engineers working, studying this material. So when I ask what is this material I want, who would like it? So they have immediate information. The companies come to discuss on the products. I said, don't do that. You book a Friday evening. Friday evening they book it. The Friday evening they come and do this thing. So all the other people are involved can do this thing. So material study is very important. Languages. The language problems, many of them, basically Kerala, they are very weak in this thing. Though we are so supposed to be highly educated. When they talk, they can write but can't talk. So we have English education. We take classes. We come the short periods of time. They come and take class for all of people on English. Then the latest class will not be language. Hindi. We are teaching Hindi in our office. All the staff has learned Hindi. Because the sites we are speaking Hindi. All sites we go there Hindi. You cannot fire that fellow. No? So we ask them to teach on bad words first. So this is a big problem. Engineers have, because this fellow, Hindi fellow, he will not go on doing some mistake. You cannot tell him what is actually wrong. It's not level or something you cannot say. So you are teaching Hindi. So you cannot neglect Hindi in India anymore. What Tamil Nadu is doing a big blunder. So you have to learn Hindi. We teach Hindi. Then we teach yoga. Yoga class. You know, the yoga teacher comes and takes class. We repeat every day. Pardon? Yoga evenings, afternoons, not every day. But on a period, or a yoga period, they go to there. Every day is for a period, not every day, not possible. A priority for interns. Interns also, those are heavier for interns to join us because they are directly on live projects. Normally interns are never kept near the project. You know, they are sitting in the corner, maybe drawing a door or window or something. The interns work with us equally on a project. So they get such a training. So these people go and tell the college, if you go to Kumar group, you don't do that. Tell Kumar group you get very good training. So the tremendous profession for taking interns. We can take up to 5 or 6, we take up to 8 and things like that. It's compulsory for the course to do the intern.
1 year intern.
So 6 months. They are 1 year and 6 months. Both ideas, different universities follow different systems. Big problem. See, architecture firms remain same, colleges increase. Only thing, where do they go? So I went up to 9. So by qualification I take only 4 or 5. The resume I take only 4 or 5. Balance I keep for the minister to call, IG police to call. Invariably they call. I get about 5-6 calls from different people. I take them. You know, I cannot even last year I had to reject Kivit also. This is awful, no way. I said, sir, I'm sorry. To my closest friend, I said, I can't take. So this is one. So we take into the interns want to do work here, but don't go and tell your other colleagues that I have a pressure point. Design evaluation. This is something for the students basically. Design. See, though you are part of a firm or a firm, design can be done by one person. Design is very, only one person can do the architectural design. Not, so if you, myself and Anuj cannot, both together cannot design. Anuj can make a design, I can make a design. So the mind works at different, see you are following your mind. So both mind cannot go together. So later on we can have brainstorms. The main design, whether I'll sit with Anuj or somebody else, then discuss it. But first design comes from you and you alone. So you're very individualistic, very individualistic. This course, architecture is very individualistic. It's like some doctors also, you know, they are famous for something, they have to do the operation like that. Now you cannot give to the assistant. Reporting systems are excellent. We have a person and we use WhatsApp. Oh God, WhatsApp is blessing in disguise. Everybody takes WhatsApp for all this wrong mails and all that. You know, what people see wrong forwards. We use it for managing the site. So people go to the site, they carry it. If there's a doubt for the supervisor, he takes the photo, he sends immediately. The correction is done, sends it back. So immediate. So it's better than mail. Mail you open and out. It's nothing. So WhatsApp is, so we have WhatsApp, each point we have WhatsApp groups running. So plus our own large group is there. So anybody in this site, I know, this fellow is in that side, this fellow is in this side, everything we know from here. And photographs, the progress, everything. How many people are working the site? We know that instantly. So this is a huge blessing in this case, the WhatsApp. We have our architects have a tremendous, like AutoCAD for architects. You know, AutoCAD for architects. You know, the internet. Who uses internet to the maximum advantage in architects? Nobody else. You are all sending letters and files. You are sending drawings, huge drawings you are sending. That's an advantage. And correction is done on AutoCAD at that point and send it back. Simultaneously, I can sit here, another person in London and my cousin can work together on the same drawing. So we are the best people with internet. If you use the method properly. So we have site is controlled by project meetings. We have project meetings without a client. The client interferes. When you design certain things, client may not know what you say. Obviously, you know about that thing and you have to cover. So we avoid a client. We sit amongst our concern and discuss. The client meetings are held separately, and mostly in sites we are separate. But other project meetings we are brainstorming ourselves. We don't need a third person to come into that. And the consultants will be there, auditors will be there, or the supervisors will be there, brainstorm that project and then take it. Every week we have on Monday morning 9 o'clock we have 10 o'clock we have all projects together. We have a meeting, and so that myself and Manoj will know what's happening, very useful information. So without this thing cannot manage, then site meetings are closed. I am also involved in social. I think my time is okay.
Another 10 minutes.
So I help you.
We should leave about 1 hour for questions.
Yeah. Thank you.
10 minutes we will break.
Yeah, fine. Social responsibility. I am involved in a lot of social responsibility in the sense that many of us don't do that because we have an advantage of suggesting, because our mind is designed to analyze, find solutions and implement. Our mind is that. A problem analysis, that's what we are learning in college. Analyzing a project, analyzing a situation and finding a solution for that. So architects can easily do a lot of things for public and the government. They are keeping quiet. They are the best of. If the Prime Minister of India was an architect, they would do well. Sorry.
Why? Ratan Tata is an architect.
Can I take this? Prime Minister of India is an architect because this mind is like that. Many of the architects are so shy they don't come to public. Actually, you can talk to the collector, mayor, find a solution, talk. There's no problem, they can talk. You will understand, but they will listen to you more because you have given a technical solution. Like this Vaitla Mobility Hub, but this thing on top.
So Dr. Bina was there.
Yeah. So Better Kochi, I was involved in many of the projects with the Better Kochi Response Group, which we started. Better Kochi Response Group. Infrastructure planning, the budget. Every time the corporation or the government corporation calls about the budget, makes a budget, they call us for discussing. Also did some work for but the toilets. We spend most of our time designing toilets. Nobody knows huge amount of time is done for designing toilets. So we have also involved in toilet for public, which I'll show you, by BKRG, which is given free to any location government asks, free of charge, free maintenance. It's a BKRG project with the help of Today. It's done in containers and it's going to be factory made. We also have 4 of them is coming immediately. One we are needed at Padivattam, 4 are coming to Marine Drive, 1 DSR, 1 in Fort Kochi. Then these people that the Road, and then that T20 people, what is that party? What is that? They call. So we are ready to give out 10, 15, 20 trials. The last one I worked on Hartal. We worked on BKRG open. It's not my product. Everybody works together on Hartal. We had a big meeting and KMA also joined with us. And the message has gone to almost all the big politicians. And our letter is signed by most of our Thai people and architects and all that, but 200-300 people signed that letter. Our top people signed that letter, including associations and persons should be all signed. And after that, no single Kerala Hartal has happened. And I had a breakfast with Chanitala and told him that if you announce as a party that we will not have Hartal, your party will get more votes. So he more or less agreed, and that's why he's keeping quiet. And the ruling body doesn't
Has
answer.
announced anything there?
Huh?
No political party has announced.
Nobody outside, nobody. See, 100th Avatar.
They have not come out and open against us.
Nobody open, they're not coming. Yeah. Because in the Ramesh Siddharth party, I talked to V.D. Sadish and Mr. Hassan, I told all fellows. They also said, sir, but they are not announced. They don't, these are all political things, you know. But if the Hartal, one Hartal is happening, we'll take it to the next level. That's what I will talk to the government. Then some projects I will just go through that. HDFC building, which I just want to show some useful figures basically. One of the oldest buildings here in the HDFC office. With that done in tile dimensions. Vertical, horizontal, everything is a tile dimension. Computer was not allowed to try to draw everything. And it's usually full tiles. Any dimension to do it. We count tiles. This is target. This is 2 3 fast. In Munar we did a project, tall trees. Right? The problem was we are not ready to cut any tree, we are not ready to cut any rock. So the buildings were done between the trees. You know, they had to do project was done between the trees and we didn't cut any rock. We need some rock for the building, we bought it from outside. We didn't cut any from outside. Landscape we used local plants for landscape. Like ALM and this is whatever ferns we have, we used that for landscape. This is the restaurant there at that place. The roof is glass roof, so that you see the trees when you sit there. In the night, what we do is we put candles on the table and light up the trees. So at night also you see the trees. So you have Muna. The name of the resort is Tall Trees. Naturally, I have to keep up to the image of tall trees. This is this we involved in the financial. How to they didn't have 1 rupee to do this. They only bought. So we worked on the financial system. How can they do it? We made a financial model and worked very well. I cannot express too, it takes a lot of time. This is our Jijit corporate link. This is a gold rated building. I could have got platinum. I lost 2 marks because they didn't want to spend on the air conditioning. They had to spend extra. They had to spend other people. I easily got platinum rating. This is a construction project we did at Alati for boat terminal. The problem with houseboats. Houseboats is no control. People can take off houseboats anywhere. Who is taking the houseboat now? It's a threat from our. So we did a terminal like an airport. You come there, check this thing, and then only you can get in the airport. There are government's idea was to do so many of this thing, and you pass through that like on airports. This is Tata Alexi, like where the Jaguar cars are now tested. And this is Tagore Theatre, the old Tagore Theatre we did in Savannah. One of the best areas now. This is Savannah West Terminal. It's beautifully done up where people don't cross the buses at all. But unfortunately, it's failed so badly. So bad. So I don't want to. So badly, I don't want to even enter there. So whatever this I get the case, I go to court and do something. I don't know what to do. Not only that, they don't drive this. They don't care. They park everywhere. See, originally it's electronically controlled. Also, bus didn't have a chip. As you enter the bus, timing is but the driver was not supposed to get out of the bus. He'll have to take the bus to idle parking. Then take the bus to the bus clinic where the bus is checked, and he has food somewhere else. Then everything is electronically machine. That was the idea. What scheme was that? But the way they are running, oh God, I don't want to get involved with that. Another one we are doing for the state buses at e-ticket, the large office, just to start. This is a wildlife motive conceptual design which really created wildlife motive. The design, they have done some sheds here, but original idea of the mobility hub is government approved. Because of that only, this was land was transferred to our people. Total creation of traffic pedestrians and automobiles and buses. This is a wildlife junction. Just want to show you a hot topic now. Wildlife junction, BKRG project where the which is coming, how to solve this thing. All the car parking, the junction planning, everything is solved on that junction. But we are recently said again to the government and all that. Again we are said. This is a toilet I was talking about in container with a green leaf and all that. Inside is very modern with automatic flushing and all that. For common public. So what? old containers. So idea is that if you keep a good finish, people keep it like that. If you give bad finish, they throw it out. Housing we did for asset rooms, post-story no housing. It's my house. Sorry. Back, I have seen the lake, so that's my studio for the thing. So I want to say here underneath that I can go. I got a 250 here, I can go there. If my wife shuts out, I can stay there. I can come by board and stay there. That's a general idea. This is a new house I did recently. There's no brick, there's no plaster, there's no wood in this house. Steel and panel wall and glass and all.
What panel wall?
This panel we used aircon. Double walls with all the plumbing, everything all inside. Very cool, with installation also, very cool. Can be constructed very fast. You don't have to do.
How many days?
It is important because normally you can finish about 4 months. Including 6 months you can finish.
And how much does it cost about
No, this house at that point it was definitely equal or cheaper because the soil is so bad. This house is only 25% weight of the normal house. Can you beat that? So 25% total weight. So I saved up for otherwise we were 30 meter piling there. So I saved on this house. Normally it should be slightly more.
And regarding how does it stand up to the weather as far as maintenance?
No problem. Everything is treated. All kinds of treatment, everything is protected. See, normally the panel wall buildings are there in US, but they use wood instead of steel.
The windows were also steel.
Windows are but vinyl. Yeah, doors are also polyvinyl. No wood. Sorry, this one I got a lot of time. This is a Mashan crematorium. This is the reader. The place people never used to go, so bad. Now it's like a park there. No? People go and spend time in the original Chakachula crematorium. Not Chakachula, not Chakachula. What is that? Second crematorium reader now. But I did a lot of things. There was a small project. I got a lot of Uraria. ഞാൻ മരിച്ചാലും മറക്കില്ല This is Gandhi Park Purana, which we learned a lot of corporates, political corporates, finally we did that. This is a year, our DSK order. There were a lot of frustration against a lot of objections about that, but we went through that many times. Then interiors of our office. This is a government building interiors, just random. ATC. This is a seed house inside. That seed house I'm talking about, inside is that. The staircase, this is all open. Advantage is I can open out all the walls. Road walls. The house is totally open. This is how the Indian officers did. The auditorium we used to customer is that design we used for space and gold color in Churcha. Retire or not retire, big question. But I feel that portions cannot retire. Go on and on.
There's no retirement. Redefine your role.
Yeah. Efficiency increases by age. Everybody is saying that. Efficiency increases by age. All the activities will be before it. Keeping healthy is the only challenge. So all this, read out some of the. I'm now writing a book. I'll read some of the 10 lines. It will be interesting. Not all. New paradigms for success. Be angry, impatient, and unsatisfied. People are saying that be calm and be angry. Not that be angry, impatient, unsatisfied. Don't do what others do. If others tell you to do something, think again. We don't learn from concerns. Concerns learn from us. Suffer to succeed. Aim at something to achieve which is impossible to achieve. Secure it is not worthwhile. Don't go step by step. Take honest shortcuts. Don't challenge your equal. Challenge the mighty. Don't help people, help ideas. Your family is not the final place to be. I should hear this. Don't discuss about people or incidents, discuss ideas. Don't spend time with your friends, spend time with your opponents. Don't keep your mind calm, keep it volatile. There is nothing called multitasking. Only individuals are established to make a final bus. 90% of your education happens after education. When you educate others, you educate yourself. So, secret thing for organizers. Don't reduce your assistant to your client. There's every chance he takes your client. If you get bored and lonely, keep company of yourself. Thinking is better than reading. And work your ass off. Don't let others pull you down, including your parents. Note. So this is very close down. Being professionally successful, financially stable, and to be honest, is a tough job. They're all contradicting each other. You take one of the box, it's easy to do the other two. You know, to be being professionally successful, financially stable, and to be honest, is a tough job. But I am tough. Thank you.
Start your own architectural design for as soon as you get out of your college. Okay. Why?
That's too large.
Sorry?
That's too large to begin with. Like straight out of college.
Huh?
Straight out of college is too large to begin a firm.
You want to work with somebody. You want to work with somebody.
It's not like that. Like we need a better perspective before we start.
I agree. You know, government also agree on that? Yeah. So you work with Charles Story, yeah? You know? Only thing is that though I told my daughter I could not convince her, she straight went into her own design firm.
But she is very smart. There's a lot of controversy between him and his daughter, which
That will be another.
unfortunately, what I will with daughter.
That will be another topic to discuss, right? Okay, I think what are the key learnings, I think, from what Gopakumar mentioned? One of you, as a volunteer, you can say, what are the key learnings that will benefit? And then you can also, the process shoot questions and so on.
One thing about architecture is, it's 50% talk, 50% work, right? And also, so you have to be able to communicate with us.
Correct. So any, it can be, I would like now the company to say that these are the three things I learned.
think so, yes.
From government.
My name is Sadirara So the main thing I discussed is about what he said about changes. So even today we had a review on our project, and usually I get stuck with the project at the beginning itself. If I get some good positive response from the teachers, I get stuck there and I continue with the same thing. So today when I heard about what South Korea I taught you and what you have gained from your experience, I think I need to work more upon my projects and be confident enough to make changes.
Very good, very good. Good point.
You must be able to throw the design the rest of the world.
See, he told another thing what government told, if you don't change, you may live the whole of your life for your client.
With a mistake.
With a mistake.
Yeah, I think the point.
Yeah. That's more important.
With the mistakes.
Yeah. Because I know he designed my house, so there are no mistakes.
You didn't have to demolish it. That's what I'm saying.
I didn't demolish anything.
There is a lot of mistakes.
Okay. That's a very key point, very interesting. Come like this.
I'm Gina and from the same college as Eastman.
Yes.
What I noticed is that the students are getting more important these days. Giving priority to the leader, and they're getting opportunity for being involved in those projects impress near architects and all. And I think that's a good thing, so that we could learn more.
Kiran, you will agree with that? You work with us.
Okay.
He's already practicing. Okay.
Okay, my name is Kiran. I'm from Azadi, and I had the privilege of working with Gopakumar sir for like 6 months for my internship. So what I understood is like I used to interact with him like personally. He used to give me ideas. We used to work together on projects. So that's something like he used to share his ideas. That used to inspire me, and we like even the design, like his ideas is like it's not like he filters it down to someone else and then somebody gives it to me, but he used to directly give it to me, and that is what is important. Like as an intern, that was totally inspiring for me, and it changed the way I used to think.
Anybody from this?
Good evening everyone, I'm Churcha from Azadi, Cochin, and so I don't know whether I should go, like, I would say what that impressed me, not what I found attractive was the way he was taking himself. Like he said like our work is like 50% the way we speak and 50% our work. But what I could find is the way he speaks, like the way he presents himself, the air of attitude that we all should have. Like when we present our work, the confidence we have in our own work should always reflect in the way we speak also. I mean the way we express it to others. So that's something I found very, attractive actually in you. So I think each of us must have, because only if we are confident about our design, we can be confident, we can talk this confidently. And even like you were talking about the raid that happened, and you were not ashamed to speak of that thing. So you were equally like, even if it is a bad thing or good thing happened, you are equally taking it or maybe learning lessons from each and everything. So, and another point he said was like don't introduce the clients and associations. I think maybe that's something you got from your experience.
But he was joking. He was joking.
Just a joke.
So whatever it is, that the way you are taking
In fact, I take my juniors to all the clients.
Yeah.
In fact, the client presentations, very tough presentations when you are presenting the board, especially government boards is tough. Some fellow wants to prove, trying to do that he knows more. And he tries to cut you, So when he tries to cut, he stop him at that point. I said, I will give you time.
Yeah.
I will give you time. I always stand up and talk. When you're standing on top, you're in a constable, when you stand up, you are dominating. The rest of the people are below. When you're sitting, they all feel that you are equal, so they can bombard you. So this is the thing.
What government don't take that part seriously. Once you become a leading architect, you have to encourage your juniors and expose them to the clients, like what you mentioned.
They all come with me.
They all.
No, actually that was never a point I said. But what I found very attractive and I wanted to adapt in my life also is like the way you take yourself. Like Hiran said, he even had the opportunity to speak, like you were speaking directly to him and the client meeting.
I know his name, I know his first name. That's good. That's good enough. So many people join me. I know my first name.
Yeah. So.
When do you work?
So,
I don't know his name. That's good.
Yeah, go ahead. We like to listen to you.
So, the way Hiran was talking about you, like the way you interact, it's because like if you want to say something to your juniors, I mean by juniors or my mentors, like people like us, you should first have that confidence in yourself that you have something to talk to them like in a rightful way. So that's what you have, and I think that's something it reflected in all the presentations and all the events that you have and even the designs.
Good, that's a good point. Good. I think what she mentioned is the confidence, the self-confidence. Now you are all getting.
And I have this problem at home.
What is that?
My daughter is my daughter is an architect.
Oh,
And
okay.
there is another son-in-law who is also an architect. So I tell them something, and sometimes I feel like, some take my day and wait on me. So I cannot talk.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah.
Actually, I am not from this category of students. I am a journalist. I'm passing that.
Your masters.
I am from Ghana.
So the qualification by.
I am an MBA graduate actually. MBA graduate. After my MBA graduation, I come to this field. And my question to you is about for an organization, the public relation department and the public relation activities is very much important. What are your strategies and what are your methods about your public relation activities and public relation management?
We have a public relation person was there in our office also. We don't have now in between because they make a mess also. So sometimes they create more problems. So best thing is to get involved in everything. Let people know you. Instead of saying that I'm big, you know an actor by his work or he's moving in society. There are two things by which you recognize. Work is important. You get one work from another work. So people come to design a house. Though I cannot take a house in the sense like large points we are considering housework is very difficult and takes almost equal amount of time. Fees is much less. Still I do the house. Never say no, because this house will give you a lot of name. The single house will, I told you the Smashana I was talking about, that crematorium. Nothing, price, fees is nothing. But the entire Trivandrum knows me, because only just one little, like the DH ground here. Nothing is a ground, is a misused ground we converted into lawn, nothing much is done. But people still know the Ramana, you have done a good job. You know?
Only for us, Pashatal,
So I didn't know what exactly. So suddenly it took me. So that is it. We move around in the society. That's what we. Not for catching works. Not for catching works or marketing. Marketing you cannot do openly. Right? Who also cannot do that. But basically, when you move the society, you get to know people. Most important thing is, of course, your work only. Your work only. People recognize you by your work. The word goes from. You can be relayed. The reliance to the how you are reliable is very important. You know, many of the clients assess you when they are labeled to your.
Answer the question in different ways. I know Kumar. He also is involved in Metro Cochin Response Group. He is in the Indian Institute of Architects. He is a chapter chair, I think. Chair here. So basically, he is involved in work not only related to Kumar Group but something outside Kumar Group. So which makes him and which makes him prepared for eventual retirement.
Yesterday, the budget speech by CA, I was a loan architect. I told him I was a loan architect. I don't find any other architect sitting in the budget because people think budget is not concerned with this. It's concerned with us. Of course, it's so pretty concerned with. People don't think. No, a lot of things in the public is concerned with us. So you have to be there.
Yesterday, in fact, the budget result was very good for architects. I asked my daughter, she has not seen anything. She is not a Bhubaneswar. She is a heritage consultant.
Yesterday the budget was running on our screen. Yesterday the live was running here on the screen. So people are watching, what's happening.
Yeah.
Kumar says that, he started this thing to him, started something on a, what's the reason? But my father is very rich.
That is real. I don't want to use bad words. No, actually, she worked with a French architect in Pondicherry for about a year and a half for getting trained.
I thought
She used to do different heritage and green architecture and all that. Earth architecture. No problem.
Government, and with your permission, my experience, when I decided to have a house of my own 13 years back, there were only 2 or 3 good architects. So I went around, had few friends. I didn't have much of friends in Cochin. And somebody said, Gopakumar, Kumar Group. I went and met with him that time, and I met other architects also. Then I decided to have him as for designing my house, because it was very difficult for me to make him talk. It was very difficult for me to make Gopakumar talk. That's about 30 years back. To the point.
Now it's difficult to make him stop.
No, I'm not joking. I'm not joking, I'll tell you. He never tried to sell his idea to me. He said, look, this is the one, this one, this one. I still remember. He had what is that bird in the office? Yeah, all that. Then I decided I would give it to him, because no nonsense person. So the other one, they tried to sell. നമ്മുടെ അറിവിനെയാണ് നമ്മൾ കൊടുക്കേണ്ടത്, അല്ലാതെ പോലെ നല്ല വാക്കുകളെല്ലാം പറഞ്ഞിട്ട് കിട്ടുകയല്ല. That is the quality.
Marketing is a bad word.
Okay, any other learnings? We would like to listen to you people. I want each one of you to talk. Yeah, please.
Good.
What's your name?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Jalva. I'm from Asian School of Architecture, Cochin. Sir, what I would like, the three most striking things you could say that I got from this Churcha is, one, like we've had a lot of talks regarding design, evolution and all that, but then nobody really talks to you about how exactly you run your company, or what would you do when you start your company. You're like, maybe you have a lot of ideas, but then you're not confident to start your own office as soon as you pass out. For me personally also, I think you should maybe work with somebody, gain a little experience and then start your own enterprise. But then, for example, about the partnership, like it should be a percentage thing, it goes to your different partners, all those kind of little things, like details is very interesting for me. That is something that I have not heard from any other meetings or conferences before this. Then second is basically like over this, I think for everybody, taking architecture would be a change in your life. Like when you join in first year and when you pass out in your fifth year, it will be a complete change. Because you go through a lot of experiences, and you said don't spend time with your friends, spend time with your opponents. Because in that way, you will learn to improve your weakness and you further improve your strength. Sure. So that was very striking for me. And third was strive boldly for what you believe in. So that is also like, so you're very strong personality, very strong character, and like the confidence with which you speak. So that is something that helps you reach out to different individuals and personalities. So that is also very striking for me, and it was very great.
Very good. I think this is a very valid point you mentioned. Like, I am a mentor to my daughter since I am in business, and one of the things which I find with architects, especially the freshers who pass out, is what Gopakumar told is a very valid point. I was just quoting and repeating your point. Architectural design has many other aspects of management. Okay, that is managing the ecosystem, which is equally important. I mean, it's not just having the creative skills. So in case you're going to start your own architectural firm, keep in mind that there's something beyond architecture and beyond design which will make you successful. And just a very valid point. And then the last one you told, what I've again noted down, if your stand is correct and you are principled, be bold, which you have repeated. So these are very, very valid points. I think most of the points are coming out. I'm happy that the students are really noted down. And anything more? I'm looking for a very, in my experience of, let me say, handling my daughter or other architects, where the architects always lack. Which Gopakumar mentioned beginning, please.
Being an architect, you should have an eco-friendly aspect, I guess. I mean, I went to his home last week, and it's happened to me.
He is from Destination Kerala.
Yeah, sorry.
She had interviewed my daughter.
Myself, I'm Indu Pradeep. I'm from Destination Kerala. It's a business monthly. And I happened to meet with his doctor. Sri Devi Shangali, and it was a beautiful experience that I had here, I must say, because it was based on mud construction. There was a workshop going on there, and students from SEM's college and CAT were there, and they were feeling on hands, the mud, and what they do is actually it's like a tribute to the masons. Their position is no less than an architect. That's what they do there. And being an architect, you should have an eco-friendly attitude, I must say. And what do you think, sir?
Correct.
Correct.
I don't know, 450 mud.
You can use mud as a construction material.
Yes, sir.
Topic is subject.
Very innovative idea, I must say. Appreciate them for this. So I hope you guys also take such points in front of the career. Whenever you go forward in whatever you do something different. That means you should have an environmental attitude, You should think about the nature around you, what you can get from there. Then at your feet, you have the construction material, mud. That's the best thing that I've learned there. So, thank you.
The one which you mentioned at the beginning, I think that's a very valid point. As a student, Gopakumar writes to Charles Korea. Where is Gopakumar, where is Charles Korea at that time? And Charles Korea replies immediately, which I don't find in many of the architects whom I have handled. That response mechanism just is absent. I don't know why, because they are creative people. They think that they can take their own sweet time, they can reflect their will and pleasure, the client has to remind them. So I told my daughter, look, don't do this. I mean, this is important. Because today is a competitive world and customers or clients do need responses. That is a key learning which I heard. So just notice, I mean, responsiveness.
It's mentor.
Not only Charles Korea, what is the status of Charles Korea and what is the status of Gopakumar when he started? When Gopakumar as a student writes, Charles Korea replies. That's the key point, not as a vendor thing. That's the key point where the responsiveness, because I know my daughter very well, maybe I am her father, she doesn't respond to me, that's a different issue. But responsiveness is absolutely essential. The architects are so busy, they are very creative, the client waits for weeks to get a response, and I know clients are moved out of that particular architect. I told this to my daughter. So, very important point what you mentioned in the beginning. I thought some of you will pick it up and see. Okay, next.
I just wanted to add, apart from that, he is inculcating it now. The way he treats the students, he gives priority for the intern. He gives priority for students. They can walk in any time. These are all very important things. Who taught him? I mean, how did he come? What Charles?
This connection, I would also like to mention, it is not just the architectural profession. I give a very interesting example of a very well-known and respected late industrialist of Kerala, Karu Desai. When I was a very young officer in KSADC, when I started my career in industrial development project management, I remember my MD sent me once to India flight to understand some issue there, and then what government or KSADC has to set some policy for that purpose. But you know what Karu Desai did? He received it because he was earlier he is the director of KSADC also. I don't know whether that particular point. They told he had to come. So the PA sent me to his room. Then he gave me a set of instructions before starting of the meeting. He told me, you go around the factory, you study what is there. Then he asked me, I have 15 minutes, so he told me, there's only one section you try to it is more, which needs more attention. Then I went back to actually do what I have been sent for. You know the first thing he did was, he asked me, did you understand whatever you saw? Is there anything that you have not understood? Ask me. He is research, R&D is there, some other thing, but he himself is asking me. That is, all the people who achieve excellence, is their traits as well.
So this lack of responsiveness is not only from architects. Don't get me wrong, but since I have architects sitting here, I know that. Lack of responsiveness is there in every project.
And also youngsters, as you said, not only your daughter, I have the same thought. My wife is sitting, normally I would not mention, but see, my daughter, who is at a high-end professional in biotech sector in US, but sometimes, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, I don't get a reply to some important query I have raised. And she is now, she is aiming to be the executive director of that company in 3-4 years' time. I will think what he is trying to do.
But one thing you should check is only with you. I have checked with my daughter. But it's only with me. But she told her daddy, I also take time with others also, but I don't take care. Maybe your daughter is only not responsible. I don't know.
It's only to the family. Not the company. She cannot afford that in US.
Correct.
She is working 3.5-hour flight distance from her office, sitting at home. He cannot take any chance with that.
Yes, sir. See, I think someone with 5 decades of experience of creative work having been done, in a very important area. Now, there are 3 questions, What are the best traits or qualities of an architect?
What's that?
Traits or qualities of an architect. I mean, it's beneficial to them also. Second is, over this 5 decades, there have been a lot of changes. One being digitization. Because earlier when you started, when Charles Studio asked you to redo it, you probably have to go back to the drawing board physically. Nowadays you have the advantages of AutoCAD, you do a few, mouse strokes and then you are done. So what have been the benefits of digitization over these 5 decades? And the third one is, now that you have someone to pass on the batch to your son, have you thought of starting a school of architecture? Because you have your own experience, you have the experience of all those brothers that you listed there. So have you ever thought of starting a school of architecture?
So the first one, the quality, I would say, honesty yourself, honesty in your work. That's the most important in Cura, honesty. Whatever you do, must be honest. An honest movement on whatever you're designing, whatever acting, whatever discussing. Yeah. We're dealing with the client, dealing with this thing. We're 100% honest. That is probably the quality which is lacking to certain extent. I'm sorry to say that. Like there are a lot of possibilities of in architecture to be dishonest. That's my thing. To be dishonest. Okay. So not only in the work, also there are a lot of companies making a lot of products and all that. They try to dump it onto you, and they are ready to part with money. They will part with money for recommending. Because it's a huge one specifications. The one specification is good. He makes millions. That's one specifications. If you ever fall to that, you are finished. You are finished. That's all. Once I was coming for a train, I got down. Zone contractor waiting here. So he was getting, sir, he gave me a cover. I thought he was some notice or something like that. Huge bundle of notes. And then you don't say, okay, you are doing this. Should I call police or do you take it? You will stop. You understand? You have to board and say that's not on. That's what. Digitization, I fully with you.
You wanted 3 qualities. So one is honesty. What's the second?
Honesty in work, honesty in your behavior. Honesty
is integrated.
Digitization, of course. I'm fully with digitization. We are very modern in that also. One advantage Anuj has joined. He's a new generation advantage. New generation advantage you should not forget. He's much faster on presentation now. Not as most presentation he goes. He's much faster. Suppose the client asks something, he can pick up somewhere and just convince him. He's very good at convincing people. Which I also can do, but digitization part I was a little bit. But
he studied from there.
He studied. The first architect to learn AutoCAD is myself. First architect to learn AutoCAD in Kerala. That AutoCAD was not known to public, not known to everybody. So, you know who taught? Our this fellow, Santosh's father. He taught CAD studio, and I was the first architect to join CAD studio. So I will not be doing always on AutoCAD table, but I should know when these people are working. And our staff has become more clever. They have customized the AutoCAD. They customize for their finger movement and what commands they go faster. So they, in our office, AutoCAD runs faster. The company itself can learn because you cannot see the screen. It goes so fast. These people are faster with the keyboard and mouse together. They combine it and they are much faster than India. So technology is important. See, presentations knowledge. Suppose I go to Tivana for a presentation, my presentation is not ready. I'm still collecting data, and when I'm there, presentation is ready. The best part is when I was in Madrid, a group of architects went there. There's one presentation to be done by our group to the University of Madrid. So, the person who was interested from college, he has not prepared much. So, the others knew that we're paying money for the presentation also. No? So, what is the bad thing? Can you do something? So, I was sitting in Madrid. So, Anuj is sitting here. So, I got his points there. Then I was sending him, he's sending this picture, that's it. Finally, within about 1 hour, our presentation was ready. So, this can happen only in the digitized world. And the information passing, so much. See, people used to go to library and refer things and products, and now everything is on this thing, digitization. Actually, the management to this mobile. I'm doing management through the mobile. I don't want to look up other things I rest. Not bullshit they said, but management through mobile. Best instrument is the future is in your hands. In your hands, future is in your hands. Not even on your tablet or on your keyboard or on your table, laptop. This is here. Future. Your bank is here. Your transaction is here. Your management, everything is here. This is somewhere or this thing has become very important.
Become very important, and there is a certain program.
I fully believe in digitization. The third thing is code of architecture. Originally thought of it's very cumbersome to do that. It's not easy to do that. I had to literally stop practicing to do that. Ajit has done it. Ajit actually reduces work on business and considered good for a retirement, and this thing is a very good choice. I have an idea to try a design school, not architecture. By using the capacity of brothers, covering everything. That is my idea. Sometime, somewhere, it can exist.
I just want to ask you. You're doing a small project for time. Just conducting it. In our office, now why I wanted to bring it out. Now, he's got such a huge setup and so many projects running. But every little things about it, it's a very small project, compared to it. Something and that every color of the color texture of the walls, the furniture, and what clothing should go, what color. Everything is approved by the person.
We added some color, that.
Everything, the whole thing is. I just want to ask you, are you able to do that for every project? That's my question. Are you able to do that for every project?
Yes. See, we should not spend time for something else. See, that's the problem becoming a big firm. We will be mostly doing management. So, unfortunately, I put people in the right places to do the management. See, you do know where I'm sitting? I'm not in the cabinet, I sit here.
I can see that.
I can sit here. I don't sit in the office. Myself and Anuj sit here and put the table and this thing. Only for looking at my letters or something like that, I go there. I don't sit in the cabinet.
The staff who came, he took a photograph of that chair, the thing, sent it by WhatsApp. In 3 minutes you got your reply back in front of me.
That is the speed of response.
And unless this thing comes, she will do that, not to get Kumar.
Many people ask, why don't you do the entire paraphernalia of design technology? Do architecture, electrical, plumbing, structure? Yes, why don't you have in-house? It's all outsourced, all of the outsourced. Because if I do that, my staff instead of 75 will get 300 or 400. Then I will be doing management. I will not be designing. So we want to still design and we are the capable.
എൻ്റെ പേഴ്സണൽ എക്സ്പീരിയൻസ് പറയാം. തിരുവനന്തപുരത്തിലെ കോളേജ് സാർ പഠിച്ച കോളേജ് ഞാൻ പഠിക്കുന്ന സമയത്ത് അവിടെ ഞങ്ങൾ പ്രോഗ്രാം നടന്ന സമയത്ത് ഒരു എഞ്ചിനീയർ എന്താണ്, ഒരു ആർക്കിടെക്ട് എന്താണെന്ന് ഞാൻ ചോദിച്ചത്. ഉടനെ അവിടുത്തെ ഒരു അധ്യാപകൻ പറഞ്ഞൊരു കാര്യമാണ്, എഞ്ചിനീയറിന് ആ പ്രദേശത്തിന്റെ സംസ്കാരം പൈതൃകം അറിയണമെന്നില്ല, പക്ഷെ ആർക്കിടെക്ട് ഡെഫിനറ്റ് ആയിട്ട് ആ പ്രദേശത്തിന്റെ സംസ്കാരം പൈതൃകം അറിഞ്ഞിരിക്കണം എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. അന്നേരം ഈ ഒരു കമന്റിനോട് സാറിന്റെ ഒരു ഒപ്പീനിയൻ ഉണ്ട്. സാറിന് ഏറ്റവും ചലഞ്ചിങ് ആയിട്ട് തോന്നിയ അത്തരത്തിലൊരു വർക്ക് ഏതാണ്? സാഹചര്യം കൂടെ പറയാം. സാറ് പ്രസന്റേഷൻ കാണിച്ചപ്പോഴേ കസവിന്റെ ഒരു കൈത്തറിന്റെ ഒരു ഇതുള്ള ഒരു ബിൽഡിംഗ് കാണിക്കുന്നത്, അവിടെ വെച്ചിട്ടാണ് എനിക്ക് പ്രശ്നം ചോദിച്ചത്.
See, it's not only there are so many things involved when you are a designer. Parallel is master. Of course, use heritage. You have to know about materials. You have to know about things like fire. What can create fire? What can so I like to quote this with the anti-fire retardant and quote on this because I have to keep the fire ratio low. So you have to know all the knowledge you have. Not only this heritage, but you have to know about materials. The cost. Very important point. Now what can see actually 25% weight reduced on that building, steel building. That's going to reduce the cost. I could have done a regular building. You would have spent 40 lakhs for this foundation, whereas I spent only 7.5 lakhs. It will reduce the weight of the building. Though the building itself we take it as costly, but when you use the foundation, I'm cheaper. That decision we have to take, and I can open out the house inside, the kitchen to dining and living. Staircase, everything I could open because you don't need walls to support, only the pillars, the steel frames to support. So those kind of decisions you have to take. Mostly by experience, you know what such access. Because that particular fellows really love the particular, that is mostly for Kalyanam. So when I put Kasava Sari thing, they really loved it. Small little thing, they really loved it.
See, understanding the client is very critical. Understanding the client.
So they gave the next shop. Yeah. That's actually, since a business area, I have to be careful of the architecture.
Actually, myself, actually, I'm coming from the design field itself. So my question is that you talk about more about the social responsibility kind of thing, and you are more associated with the government projects as well. So my question is that I hope you have heard about you are very familiar with the LEED certification and certification. So wanted to hear from you what is the significance of this kind of certification, or is it coming by the design itself, or it's need to be it's a mandatory kind of thing that an architect should follow, or it's a kind of standardization or a certification should be relied on?
Indian students can answer this. Indian students can answer this. So LEED certification is based on energy, basically on energy saving. That's the basic idea. And be comfortable. Comfortable word is different from various issues. Like we think that sometimes we think air conditioning is not green, but in US standards air conditioning is green because comfortable they have worked standards like. So we have some difference of green with the LEED people also. So now the India government has come with other specifications also. The Indian situations are come with other specifications. So this is basically an energy saving things. It comes from the design. There are marks 60 that each level. There is platinum with above. Like that, there are brackets on which you have to mark gold, silver, certification. 4 levels of this thing. The marks, somebody is putting marks. So the marks is submitted to the committee. They give you this. Everything is finally based on energy only. Energy only. Plus environment, everything is involved. Like you cannot floodlight a building. You think that you cannot floodlight a building with normal light unless you use a solar power to do that. Because you are wasting energy there. I never thought this artificial grass artificial grass is a green certificate. So I was trying to give a green certification of lead in a way, because you are putting grass and you are not putting water.
Okay.
Because that is green certification.
Solar energy.
So I was reluctant to use that. Now I'm happy using that because it's a green certification. So you have to select the materials and systems and everything.
What is the manufacturing process of that glass? Energy efficient?
Yeah, that's what they call embedded energy. You are calculating embedded like aluminium. Aluminium has got heavy embedded energy. They use energy. So you have to also choose because it doesn't have energy by energy by itself. Then it's nearby products. Products which is coming nearby, not far away from imported from China and all that. They give a marks for that. So
maintenance also like
they're not.
Is it very significant in our Indian scenario that this kind of certification required a lot of money because on the certification part itself and on the
Actual advantage for this is that you after 5-10 years you start saving money. Initially you spend little extra. This will be covered by energy and end up for 5 to 10 years. It is becoming lower and lower. You can save on energy and you will be saving on that. That is number one. Indian situations are like Griha and all that are mostly connected with Indian situations. They are also equally good. Not I'm saying that law it is only it is basically US based.
If there are no questions, we'll just quickly summarize. Yeah. One more? Okay, sure.
I'm Akshana from KFN College. So I would like to, I had a doubt when you initially said that you wrote letters to South Korea, because I also wondered that at that ages you knew about South Korea. That was a wonder, because you said you knew some of the projects done by South Korea, and then you wrote the letter, but how did you get the address of what was the medium of communication?
No, those days, no email.
The question is, how did you get the address?
Last Korea, Bombay, let us go to. That's I got. So I was visiting, like Gandhi Ashram, I said Gandhi Ashram, I said. Gandhi is one building I was influenced a lot. It's a simple building. Gandhi stands for simplicity. It is not his hut he has made. People think that Gandhi Ashram is like bamboo and this thing, matter. No. It's actually the brick and concrete building. But the building is so simple, it suits Mahatma Gandhi. It's a series of pyramids with courtyards inside. You have seen the pictures now. You walk through this thing and you see many of this Gandhi connected materials there. Simplicity connected, which is what Gandhi. So sometimes people try to do architecture on a certain concept. So you can totally deviate and say that Gandhi stands for simplicity, work with simplicity. That's Gandhi. So I've seen that. I've seen some hotels also, like some other stadiums here done. So I got familiar with that, and I saw these were different. That is totally different from Indian scenario. So I said, this is a person I really want to work with, but I never applied for a job. I only written letters. He called me. That's a great part. So I should say that I went to this, I like this and all that. You should, connected with work only I write for, not that how are you and all that. So I like this thing, this one I walk through and all that. So he knows that I am a person who appreciates the work. He wants his assistant to be like that.
And now the scenario is that we know about the architects, we know where they are and we know what they are doing. But then even if we know how to approach that person, we cannot directly deal with nice. We get to talk only with the assistants or the photo replies.
No, access. So suppose that is true. Students can access. Doesn't mean that everybody can access.
If you really listen to Gopakumar in between the lines, Charles Korea, he had gone and visited some of his projects, and he appreciated the finer points of the project. See, somebody writes to me today, okay, Kumar, I have heard you speaking, and what you talk about this, I really love it. Can you come to my college and talk? I will tend to reply to him on that. So you're right, accessibility is a big question mark, but the way you approach it is very important. You may still get a reply from a leading architect. If you have visited the site, gone into finer details, appreciated the work, see, everybody has got an ego. Whether it's Charles Fourier, Gopakumar or Shivadas Menon. Okay, so everybody has an ego. So if you tell that, if you tickle that ego, to say that I have seen your project, this is what it is, you will get a reply. But your point is very valid. But these days, compared to Gopakumar of 1970, you have this thing called, earlier we used to say Mata Pita Guru Deva. Now you guys are saying Mata Pita Google Deva. You have to study stuff called Google. That's a good one. It's a guru. Today you can get anything about anybody in this. I mean, it's a fact. But how do you approach it? Your point is very valid. Getting an address is not an issue today. Okay, so shall we, any other questions? The last question. Okay.
So that listening to Charles Fourier actually changed a lot, like one of the things. And then you said something relevant about rejecting the government job. And you got that by...
Lecturer job. Yeah.
And you said you got that by getting first rank in the academy.
In spite of that,
Yeah, but nowadays what we can see is that, as you said, when you receive the application for internship, you have to get a call from the eminent personalities to get your certificate. So that is not at all working now.
I will say
we try our maximum to get excellent in our academics and we do our own things, we follow our mind, but then we can't access, we can directly access to you. You always go for the eminency and all the ones, which was really actually easy to, which was what you were telling, the honest way of approach and everything that was in the past. Now nothing is happening.
Yeah, please. Interesting.
I had another experience. That is, I was in the Department of Engineering as a lecturer. And that appointment was something special, like, Director of Tech Engineering Education invited me and all. But after 1 year, I was fired for some similar reason. But I always think it was for the good. Because I was more suitable for another place and I loved that place. So if you get rejected in such small events, don't lose your heart. We did something, go ahead. Better opportunity to come. I have seen another gentleman here, he is a retired High Court judge. He was telling his similar experience. He did not get in the first round as a magistrate appointment he did get. But later on he got direct appointment as a High Court judge. So we did something and go ahead. Work on it.
But Gopakumar Fuller Gopakumar has got a good sense of humor. Don't take everything. Gopakumar, am I right? Don't take everything in the literal sense. Okay? I will tell you what he mentioned is absolutely right. Finally, merit prevails. And your knowledge, your skill set will give you the rewards. So, recommendation കൊണ്ട് മാത്രം കിട്ടുള്ളൂ എന്നുള്ള അത് മറ്റൊന്നും കിട്ടുള്ളൂ. അത് കിട്ടുള്ളൂ. അത് ഗവർണർ ഉണ്ടാവും. Same time, your knowledge, your skill set, your hard work.
If I take 6 interns for 8 interns, 4 I just by qualification, 4 I by this. I don't live.
See, this again, I told you, like he mentioned, not me. For an architect, managing the ecosystem is equally important along with the design competence.
There is no criteria to select. So see, you are not taking a job, you are taking as intern. So everybody, the knowledge is everybody. So we, for our own good of doing, because they are involved in projects, that we want to select the best before. Others will just come. But they still teach them also, we don't differentiate for sale and others.
Okay, we will. We'll close. On behalf of TAI, I would like to thank Gopan, but I would like to say 6 key learnings. If you can note it down, it will be very useful, especially for the students. 6 key learnings. Number 1, responsiveness. You remember the incident what Gopan mentioned? Whether to your father, he was mentioning that the biotech doctor doesn't answer for 4 or 5 weeks. The same thing with my daughter also. We are all the same company. Anyway, so responsiveness is number one. Number two, be flexible to changes. I think one of the girls here mentioned. Be flexible to changes because don't be rigid. One thing I see very good in Govan because my wife, when he constructed the house, she had changed certain things in the house and we readily agreed.
Volatile mind.
Volatile mind where a client also suggests certain changes. So flexibility. Now my wife says, Govan was a more flexible architect than my own daughter.
That's all again.
Okay. Third point. What he mentioned is that if you are principled, I think I am relating to the last point what you mentioned is valid. If you are principled and you believe your stand is correct, be bold in talking that. Boldness, your assertiveness is very important. So that's the third key learning. Okay. Fourth is, if you are starting your own, managing the ecosystem and managing the business is equally important. I was talking like I took about 2 hours to teach my daughter how to make a cash flow. Very simple thing. Okay, how is your return on time invested? We call it as roti. Managing the ecosystem in such a way that the organization moves forward. That's a fourth one. Fifth one is very important. None of you mentioned that. My daughter started this when she was in the Manipal Institute of Technology hostel. She started an wanted to start an architectural practice with a batchmate. Even today, I don't know, I keep on asking her that, I have done it. Do they have a partnership deal? Do you remember what government told? 90% of the partnerships fail because of what? Money, finance. So in case you start something, you have very clear this thing. Like he has got understanding with his own son. Just note that point. So if you are starting something later on after you get a practice, if you are taking one of your old batchmates into your company or your practice,
Very often happens.
Everywhere it happens, more so with architects. So very valid point. The last point is, of course, which we'll close with that, which I hope you have noted. When government constructed my house, the choice of building materials versus I put up a new house now, new office, the choice of building material is chalk and cheese difference. So if you want to be successful, you should be updating your knowledge. Like you gave a good example of the medical representative teaching the doctor, which is very true. Like that, an architect also has to know, okay, here the Mata Pita Guru helps you. You can sit. Googling and you're getting the information. But the most important thing is how updated you are with all the modern developments. The technology is changing too fast. You know, one thing is NIT Calicut. Yesterday I was in Destination Kerala jury for a startup award. One of the freshers have started one thing, you will not realize it. Metro parking app. Metro parking app is run by a fresher. You know what he does? Brilliant. He has got an app. You are going to Kalamasheri station. You are using that app. I want to park my car. That reply comes, sir, don't go to the metro. Come to the next building on the right. And he gives a Google map. What this boy does is, he has gone to houses which are locked around metro stations, and there are buildings, there is land available. He gets a parking space and he's making good money.
Fantastic.
So I was amazed. I mean, and there is another one he talked about build the next. Another guy, he's not an architect. He is now simulating a model wherein you can walk in and he will say, okay, you want these tiles. He through simulation will see different companies with different rates of tiles. He has created a software for that. And it's a capsule. Build Next is the company's name. So what I'm saying is that there is tremendous possibilities in terms of building material. What government told is very, very interesting, that you should be the go-to person when it comes. When you have to be the go-to person, what should be that? You should be updating your knowledge on an ongoing basis. It's very helpful. In our times, we didn't have the luxury of Google search. everybody now is on Google and everybody will question it. So these are the 6 key learnings. So once again, thank Kumar for a very fantastic session and